Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to more of our Pascal competition. We're looking at question 23. Mike has two containers. One container is a rectangular prism. We've got 2 and 4 for some of the dimensions, a height of 10 for the whole thing. Don't know why they didn't label that. The other is a right cylinder with radius 1, and again, same height, 10. Both containers sit flat on a surface. Water has been poured into the two containers, so the height of the water in both containers is the same. They're not telling me what that is. I'm going to call that height H, just in case we need it. If the combined volume of the water in the two containers is 80 centimeters cubed, then the height of the water in each container is closest to. Okay. So, with the dimensions, the radius and the length and the width, we actually have enough information to take a look at the area. So in the rectangular prism container, the water, if you lay it flat on a surface, is going to take the shape of a rectangular prism, and it'll have the same dimensions as the base, but we're told it's a height of h. So how much water is in Mike's rectangular prism? 2 times 4 times h, length times width times height, 8h. Okay. We can do the same sort of thing. Now the water in the cylinder shape, assuming it's flat on the ground, should take the shape of a smaller cylinder. A cylinder whose radius is 1, just like the container, and has a height of h. Now the formula for the volume of water would be pi radius squared times height. Well, in this case, we know the radius is 1, so we get pi h. So the total water that Mike has in his containers, the volume of water would be 8h plus pi h, or h times 8 plus pi. But we're also told the total amount of water is 80. I can't remember what units, 80 centimeters cubed. So we want the height of the water is in the container is closest to what? Well, we can actually rearrange and solve for h. H is 80 over 8 plus pi. Okay. If you've got a calculator handy, this isn't too bad to round out. So 80 divided by pi symbol plus 8. And we can get 7.1803. I think they were to one decimal place, so I'd round that up to 7.2, which would be B. So we get an answer of B there. Now, if you for some reason you forgot your calculator, it does happen. It's happened to me before. What could we do? Are we completely stuck? You could probably get away with approximating 8 plus 3.14. That's close enough. You could probably even get away with 8 plus 3.1. Let's try that. So 8 plus pi is about 11.1. And 11.1 into 80, well, how many times does 11 go into 80? 7. You get 7.7. So already I'm starting to look at 7 point something. You get 2.3 here. How many times does 11 go into 23? 2. 2.22. And you'd be left with 8 there. And but we're close enough to 7.2. It's closer than any of the other. The other options are pretty far away. So you'd be very well served just by approximating pi as 3.1. But this took a little while. We did have to do long division by hand, so it's always a good idea to remember your calculator. Okay. And that's your after-school special for the day. Remember your calculator. It can certainly save your bacon. Okay, but we're done with question 23. Up next, of course, question at 24 as we edge ever closer to the end of our Pascal contest.